What's going on, my friends, family, fellow gamers? It's your boy, Puerto77, your only friend in these YouTube streets with a quick hot take. Um, Recently, Jim Ryan mentioned some details pertaining to the phone call conversation he had with Phil Spencer pertaining to the Activision Blizzard. Now, for the last couple of months, Microsoft has been informing the community, stating in general that there was a conversation with Sony, that they called them up, and they let them know that, hey, Call of Duty will remain on PlayStation and that things won't change. Well, apparently, Jim Ryan, after seeing Microsoft went public with this information, especially after the recent concerns um, the CMA in the UK had, Jim Ryan went into more detail with that phone conversation. Now, first he could have told everyone the phone conversation that had, but he assumed it was just a conversation between two businessmen, that it would just remain in the business realm between, two CEOs, within the corporation. But since Microsoft went public, or Phil Spencer went public, he says let's bring out the whole information. And what he was given was or told was that Microsoft will extend Call of Duty for 3 more years after the current contract marketing rights. Now that actually brings total clarity to the conversation, right? Since January, earlier this year, the conversation of Microsoft purchasing or acquiring Activision brought up a huge conversation of what will be the future of Call of Duty. You got two sides. You got one side that says Call of Duty will remain on PlayStation. Then you got the other side, to which I was part of, saying no, Microsoft will make this game exclusive. Of course, the main argument has been the money. PlayStation is probably the largest fan base of Call of Duty, and Microsoft won't make a move to miss out on that bag. I present the counter arguments that the money will move. It's not static, and if Microsoft makes Call of Duty exclusive to Xbox platforms or Game Pass supported platforms, then many people will leave PlayStation, or at a minimum, they will also get an Xbox or PC to play this. But either way, I felt that such a huge purchase and not to capitalize on the brand power of Call of Duty as an exclusive, I just didn't see that happening. Well, with this timeline that was given to Sony 3 years, you can arguably say that the rest of the gen, if the acquisition goes through, and most likely it will, if the acquisition goes through, then PlayStation 5 generation, this gen, you're going to keep Call of Duty. You're going to keep Warzone, which I always said that was always going to stay because that game is perpetual. But I was more inferring to the annual Call of Duty releases. So the annual Call of Duty releases are safe for this generation. But given the time frame that Microsoft was willing to offer just 3 more years after the marketing deal, you can probably project that the last year of this deal will be around 2026 or so. 2027 is most likely the start of the new generation of consoles. Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 platforms launched in 2020. So if you do the math, 7 years is about right. So now I see clarity in Microsoft's strategy, and that's well, there's two strategies, but I think this is the first primary one. The clarity is Microsoft is preparing to keep Call of Duty as an exclusive for the next generation of console, and here's why that is actually a smart plan. This generation, it's already done. There's nothing Microsoft is going to be able to do to turn the tide and convince people not to buy PlayStation 5, buy Xbox or whatever. It's already done. The momentum, the demand, the hype behind PlayStation 5 is at all time highest levels. It's already done. This gen is a wrap, right? Unless Sony finds a way to royally screw it up, the momentum's too big to slow that train down. The train already left the station. Is done, right? All you can do now is plan for next gen, right? Continue. Microsoft can continue to what they're gonna do to improve themselves to put in a better position for next gen. But when next gen begins, imagine 2027, like March. February, April, real early into the generation. Like once you announce the new consoles, Microsoft has a special event, maybe in June, showing the new Call of Duty in 2027, and it's exclusive to Xbox before anyone gets the ability to pre-order the new next generation consoles. Once the word gets out that PlayStation 6 will not have Call of Duty, and that's going to be a whole generation where the annual Call of Duty releases will not be on PlayStation, that is a huge selling point. That is a huge way to kick off the next generation, um, and putting and giving your console an edge. Call of Duty is a huge edge. Um, some people will change their mind and say, you know what, I'm not gonna get a PlayStation this gen, or I'll get a PlayStation later on. But for right now at launch, I'm most definitely gonna get the new Xbox. That is very plausible and very realistic. The train has not left the station in the new gen. You have to build up the hype. You have to build that momentum. And the Xbox console in the next generation having Call of Duty at launch, day one, and it's not on PlayStation, and PlayStation will not get any more annual Call of Duties, that's a powerful way to start out the gen. So that's smart. And I think that's probably the main point in this. Two, I can also see the 3 year extension as a way of Microsoft telling Sony, listen, you got about 4 or 5 years with Call of Duty, and you already know we support Game Pass supported platforms. So you got 5 years to figure it out before you lose Call of Duty. Make up your mind. Can we put Game Pass on PlayStation or not? Figure it out. Time's ticking, right? But what really made this a whole big deal, and this is the reality, is you can't have it both ways when it comes to Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer you cannot make him like Jesus while he's out there, you know, cheating on his wife, figuratively. What I mean is, he can't go out and say he wants to create games and put the games where people want to play them on, but then you cut out an entire fan base, you know? And I know some people are using the logic, well, mobile games are going to be huge and clouds everywhere. That doesn't, so you're really banking on playing Call of Duty on cloud over people wanting them to play on native hardware. The odds of cloud taking over native hardware is slim. We already seen it with Stadia. Not that many people are interested. You don't see a huge mass exodus of people jumping onto Stadia. In fact, I said when Stadia came out, I mean, it came out about 2, 3, 4 years ago. It came out a while ago, right? 2, 3 years ago, whatever. I said when PlayStation 5 comes out, it's going to have more console sales than Stadia will have subscribers or people bought. And I was absolutely right. PlayStation 5 by itself just blew past the amount of people that's on Stadia. Ain't that many people really interested in playing these big AAA titles with amazing graphics and performance and all that on a cloud service. That's just not interesting. So to think that removing games from PlayStation and replacing them with cloud is a good replacement, it isn't. The reality is Phil Spencer's only concerned with gamers that are on Xbox supported platforms. And that's perfectly fine. That's his job. He works for Microsoft. That is literally his job. His job is not to make sure PlayStation gamers got games to play. That's not what he's getting paid for. That's Jim Ryan's job. That's Herman Hulst's job. Phil Spencer's job is Xbox. He works for Microsoft. His obligation and duty is to Microsoft. They're the ones that pay him. He gets a check from them. All right. But many of you guys making him seem like he's Jesus. He's not Jesus. He's a businessman, and he's doing what's best. Now, as far as all this goes, the regulators have questions. They have concerns. And it's not just Sony. I know many Xbox podcasts and influencers are trying to make it seem like the regulators are fanboying or whatever, or protecting Sony. No, they mentioned specifically, especially the CMA, they specifically said, is for current, recent, and future potential competitors. So obviously the current ones is Nintendo, Sony, and everybody else. The recent new additions like Stadia, maybe Amazon, things like that. And then future is whoever wants to jump in the game to try to compete in this market, right? The best way to look at it is like Netflix, right? Microsoft saying they want to be the Netflix of gaming, right? When you look at Netflix, they made huge strides into be huge, but none of their moves resulted in locking out competition, right? And because competition wasn't locked out, we got Disney Plus, we got Hulu, Amazon Prime, HBO Max, Paramount Plus, Peacock. We're getting all these competitive streaming platforms now on the market, right? Now, I'm not going to tell you or even pretend I know where this is going to go. In my opinion, I think the deal's going to go through. I honestly, I don't know enough or I don't see enough on how it's not going to go through, right? There's a lot of what ifs, whatever, okay? But there is one thing we can all agree on, which is fact. Microsoft has not been very clear on their message with the regulators. They've been very vague. In my opinion, they make it seem like Call of Duty is just going to be on PlayStation like normal. They give that impression, but I don't believe them. Many people did until now. Now that Jim Ryan says no, we only got 3 years after that, and that's it. That's all we were promised. That adds a little clarity. And my final point is, when Microsoft acquires Activision Blizzard, if I was you PlayStation guys, be prepared to invest your time in either an Xbox console or PC. I would kind of wean away from the PlayStation. It's not a long term Call of Duty, unless you just play Warzone. If you play Warzone, I think you're fine. Um, to explain why I think Warzone's fine is that Warzone is perpetual. It's always on, always living, year over year over year. While the annual Call of Duty releases is you have to reestablish that fan base every single year because you have to rebuy a new game every year. And then when the new generation of consoles comes out, nobody has a PlayStation 6, nobody has an Xbox Series or whatever the new console's called. So you have to start the marketing and you have to convince people, where to start getting in, right? Now the hardcore, they already make their choices, right? Hardcore Xbox guys, hardcore PlayStation guys, they already made their decision. But the guys who are really deciding between, hey, which new console should I get to kick off the gen, Call of Duty is going to be a motivating factor. And if, most likely acquisition is going through, I would recommend that you start investing your Call of Duty times towards the Xbox platform or the PC platform and start weaning yourself away from PlayStation in terms of Call of Duty. Like, don't keep pouring your money into PlayStation when it comes to Call of Duty. Wean yourself away. Rely on PlayStation for everything else that you love about PlayStation. And if the only thing you really like about PlayStation is Call of Duty because you don't really care about anything else, then you might as well be prepared to shift to another platform and stuff. Well, now I think you're safe for this gen. So if you're already invested in the PS5 and you don't want to buy another platform, you're good. I think you're safe for this gen. The PS5 will still have the Call of Duty stuff like that. I think Microsoft's main plan is for next gen. And that's when they're going to kick it off. So next gen, you may not want to get a PlayStation 6 if, your primary platform or your primary game to play is Call of Duty. You might want to really pay attention on what's going on. Well, anyway, you let me know what you guys think. This is your boy Porter77. Once again, your only friend is YouTube Streets. Hit the like button, subscribe. And of course, membership is available if you choose to support the channel, help it grow. I hope you guys like the new banner with the little Puerto Rican flavor and the New York background. I want to shout out to Real Generic Eric for hooking me up with that. There's going to be some more improvements over time. Just be patient with me. Remember, anyway, you guys take care. I hope you enjoyed this hot take. Let me know what you think. Hit up the comment section and retweet this out and hit the like button. All right, you guys take care. Peace.